and they provide beds for homeless people, the addiction recovery programs.
Mhm.
And one of the guys, I was talking about Robin Williams, one of the guys stood up and he says, I got to tell you this. Robin Williams was in town, and we have one of the constituents who deals with Lookout. And she
Mhm.
told us that when he was filming his movie, he went and sat beside her on the street for an hour and just talked to her. That
Wow.
was amazing. So where am I going with this? You're probably thinking, where's he going with this? It's the way my brain is going scrambled. My point I'm trying to get to is Robin, when I watch him, the replays on TV, when he went on The Tonight Show or when he went on all these shows on stage, he lights it up the minute he walks in. He goes into his characters, his thing. But that moment where he's sitting on the street with this other person, that's who he really is. So
Yes.
one of the things I get really frustrated about is when people try to tell me, and that's the feedback I had, you're trying to be somebody you're not. Well, where's the line? I mean, I can't do my stories and be this character. So please help us with that. Give us advice. This is so
Oh,
important.
I love this question, Tom, and I want to attack it from so many different
Okay, attack away.
angles because I'm with you. I'm with you. People don't understand. They want you to be yourself when you're up there, and what you'll get for feedback. I get this a lot because I'm very animated and high energy, and people say, just talk to me, Kyle. Just have a conversation with me. But if I did that, I promise you, you would not be listening to my speech. You would not be listening to it. You would not be as engaged with it at all. Now, of course, there's a point where you can be over dramatic and too much, and you sort of break and ruin the message as a result. But there's actually a good point beneath that where you are just being yourself to the 10th degree. You're yourself on 10. When I'm tired at night, Tom, and I'm hanging out with my girlfriend or my family or whatever I may be, maybe I'm a 5 out of 10 in terms of energy, because that's what the situation requires.
Yeah.
But when I'm in front of a room of 100 people and I've got to hold all of their attention, I've got to bring that up to 10 because they deserve the absolute best from me. So to go back to your little story there, when Robin Williams went on stage, he was 10. He was him at his absolute maximum in terms of energy, effort, everything. And then when he was talking with that woman on the street, maybe he dropped down to 5 or 3 or something like this. So I think it's about a scale, Tom, and when we're on stage, we've got to be bigger than we are in a one-to-one conversation. And people just don't quite grasp that entirely from an engagement standpoint. And that's why we have this conflict about you're not being authentic. And when you actually are, you're just being your best self on stage.
Thank you so much. And that actually is very helpful. I want to riff on that a little bit more before we pull that video back up. Everybody, if you are on the feeds, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, we got another maybe 8 minutes before we're going to wrap up today. Please post another question in the chat function, and we'll see it on screen, and we'll be able to try to answer that question from our guest today.
Can I add another point to that as well, Tom?
Yeah, please.
Okay? So another thing which can also be happening when you call someone not being themselves, unauthentic, is you might have caught them mid-journey, right? Not all of us like who we are. Some of us are working on changing who we are because we believe we're capable of more, that we can accomplish more, that we can be more. And therefore, we're making changes in our life. So then when we deliver a presentation, maybe we've not quite fully cemented ourselves into that new person. So there's a little bit of a transition phase going on. I did not like being that shy, timid young man. I've had to work hard to change myself. And when I was in that process of that transformation, I wasn't doing Toastmasters, and people would tell me all the time, you're not being authentic, da-da-da-da-da-da. But I was in the process of making that change. So that could be another thing that's happening. And for those of us who are called unauthentic, when we're just trying to find our voice and find our style up there.